Yeah, greetings everyone. Test, pro, check. Let me... Yeah, actually 2 persons requested the guide for Master of Orion II. And, well, first 5-10 minutes I will explain what's going on overall. And, well, first 5, yeah, works fine. Mostly the stream will be on English, but maybe sometimes I'll switch to Russian. Depends. Так, microphone on as well. Right, there was a request for microphone on, but as I explained, there are different circumstances and factors why the microphone can be turned on or off. That's not not the only factor that's not only my wish, but yeah. Так, let me see. I cleared all the cookies. Now I need to sign in also. Damn. ShitTube and Google Ag. 1 minute. But overall, if shortly I was very busy this week, and probably the next one will be very busy as well, very tired at the moment, but I will stream for 3 or 4 hours, and there was a request from 2 persons, 2 viewers, one the new one and one the, well, not the super old one, but yep. And for Master of Orion, I'm very glad that there are new Noblesse players who want to play Master of Orion first and second part and to be better at it, so I'll gladly do that, even free, but also thanks to everyone who are doing willing full donations, even when I'm not streaming. That's pleasant, and you are keeping the stream alive, stream project, so I actually wonder, probably the guys from the West can't even donate straight to my card, Visa card, most likely. Well, soon enough, Russians and Ukrainians will eat grass and bark, so the economy went to shit for both countries. But, well, Western Europe helps Ukrainians, they don't help Russians. However, I mean, populations, the usual people still will eat grass and bark, sadly. Both Russians and Ukrainians. Так, let me sign in. I'll just show you what one of the persons wrote. So it's a new follower, new subscriber who just started to play Master of Orion. Well, the greatest 4x strategy of all time, without any exaggeration, without any overestimation. And okay, I'm signed in. And the other one wrote on the email. And again, don't be shy, feel free to write on email when I'm offline. However, yeah, if I'm busy, of course I probably will not answer, but I have a little bit of time. If you will not write research thesis, which will be like 50 or 150 pages, then definitely. Then you can, and I'll probably write. But as you well know, I don't like to write shortly, I like to write full-scale research stuff. Okay, let's see. Community. Also, there are still scheduled videos for Master of Orion. Well, let me show you one newer viewer, Caesar, said, "User Mick Mo, you have a nice voice, man." And as I explained, well, you can just read yourself. Many factors which influence if I was shooting good mic or not. Well, I perfectly wrote it down, even not everything, but shortly, because I was very busy. noise round, and yeah, again, I'm battling with the bureaucrats and officials at the moment because there is building construction site nearby. They widen the road, which I explained years ago for you because it's a very long project, big project. Railroad included, houses around. Well, it's a very very big scale, so it's very loud as well. From 8 a.m. it's already compressor is. It's just insane. So that's one of the reasons why I wasn't turning mic on. And overall, day of the Waka every day. День психа каждый день. Sapienti sat. Also depression, of course. Usual factor. But I was very active. Well, I forced myself to be active and to be. For some people who don't know, I'm quite a social, even not to say a little bit anti-social. But I forced myself to be as social as I can be, to make solutions to the problems. And I actually did. Met with some submariners, captains of first and second ranks, people, my old kinda old friends, old mates, snipers and intelligence, some war people with whom I was in military service and so on. So I made the solutions, but it was pain in the arse, let me tell you. Anyway, also I'm changing window blocks at the moment because I need lower. Well, I don't want to hear that bullshit. But anyway, even if I will change it, still the compressor is so strong that even the whole house is shaking. Literally, I'm not overestimating, exaggerating. So it's insane. Okay, what else? Yeah, need to have more active feedback. Since no one is writing, of course. Pathetic insects of meat and bones. They act on stimuli. You see, on incentives. So yeah, what I wanted to say, probably the Westerns can't even send to my Visa cards. But maybe on Patreon, then I will give my Patreon account to my Ukrainian mate, for example, or Turkish or someone. They will give me the cash, like hand in the hand, and they will just. That's probably very few care about my stream project, especially the newer guys who, them parasites, most of you, pathetic insect of meat and bone. But if not, then write. Also about Master of Orion. Well, first of all, I should start, of course. Don't use Steam and other bullshit. Just use the original disk, original Master of Orion version 1.0, and then patch on official 1.01 or 1.31. If I remember correctly, that's the last official patch. You can ask me on my email. You can just write to me and I will send you the original disk with all the patches needed. Because all the Steam versions, they're bullshit. Well, okay, let's finish with the first part and then we'll go into game and I'll start the guide on how to play better for advanced players and for newbies. But probably for hardcore players who play with all the minuses and race, maybe they can still learn something because MoO is a very complex game. And I was uber hardcore player in the past when I played. And the reason why I like to play the version 1.0 because that's exactly how I played it in the 90s and early 20s on my computer when I first bought it. There are a lot of changes in stats and races. Well, I'll come back to that, and also bugs and memory overflow, things like that. Some things were fixed, some or not fixed at all. So yeah, the microphone can be turned off for a while, for months, for years, and then for a year or two I can stream all the time with the mic, so that depends. Just as I explained it here perfectly. And yeah, still, some people who are waiting for the streams and strategy games, there are almost 2 or even 3 years of streams which are not made public at the moment, on ShitTube at least. On Twitch there is not everything, but almost everything. But you need to be a subscriber, but that's not the reason why I did that. Not for you to subscribe, don't subscribe. It's just because I was turning a lot of music and copyrights. They will just 3 copyrights and that's it. RIP channel. That's the reason. It's just I'm making a server at the moment. Well, working on the server, but again, of course, everything goes to material stuff, and I need to live on something as well. So, where is? And Caesar says you're the only person making Master of Orion II content on YouTube, and well, that's actually Caesar. That's not true. There are people who are still playing Master of Orion. Well, maybe they're not publishing it now. I'll check it in a minute. I'm interested in learning that game as well as many other strategic games, and it seems your channel has a wealth of strategic gameplay. That's true. That's true. Strategy is my favorite genre, and I'm quite a master of it, as everyone knows, especially of some koi games from 80s and 90s. Japanese people literally called me good of koi. Perhaps you can make a guide for me. Well, that's what I'm doing right now for you and the other person who asked. Some gameplay with commentary giving your thoughts and reasons for decisions. That I like how you put it. That's exactly what I'm usually doing when making guides. Reasons for decisions and basis. It's just when on the stream you asked for some basic basic strategy, basic how you say that, like turn to turn, point to point stuff. I'm not doing that because that's very lame. You need to play from the circumstances in the game, from the current, and I'll show you how you can get that information right in the game without anything else, and how what decisions and why you should choose them, and what technology tree, how you should play from that. Well, that depends. There is a very, again, you asked why I'm still playing Master of Orion, and I'm playing it for 30 years, because there is no better game, literally. And you see this bullshit? Damn, this is pathetic. People are such shit eaters. Damn, 7 billions of people should be burned with fire. Master Run is considered classic for considered. It is, you fucking damn idiot. The game has a kind of cool status even by today's standards. It's still only matched in gameplay by very few. What? Absolute horse shit and absolute bullshit is written, because there is there is no competitors. Zero! Absolute zero competitors. There are no better games. There are zero competitors. Literally. Absolute bullshit written. The only 2 greatest 4X games is Master of Orion and Civilization. But Civilization game is far worse, actually, on every scale, from programming to RNG. Civilization is, it's the first one, is a great game, but the RNG there is absolutely insane. When you can lose a tank to a fucking spearman, this is fucking idiotic. There is nothing of that in Master of Orion. So Master of Orion is absolute masterpiece game of skill, intelligence. So absolute purest strategy, the most brilliant game ever made in strategy genre. Even Heroes of Might and Magic, another of my favorite game, everything is behind Master of Orion, first and second. It's literally the greatest strategy games ever made. For X. Basically, that started Foix genre, Master of Orion and Civilization. That's two whales. It's like whales on which the game dev still stands. And no one made anything better than Master of Orion, even mechanically. It's insane. So that's answering your question why I'm still playing Master of Orion. That's why, because every game is different. Every time it's different. Circumstances, everything. It's the galaxy is generated and you play from there. And there is literally like the party play of Go. I mean, not a chess Go. I mean tabletop game, table game Go. It's like a philosophy. It's like a philosophy. You see what I'm saying here? It's never the same. Okay, let's close this bullshit. Description. What a fucking moron, retard, who wrote that bullshit. Okay, I explained about microphone. I explained about. Yeah. Let me check if there are votes of Master of Orion. If someone actually makes them in nearest time. From different browsers and from different well, without an account, however, still Google Ads disgusting. Well, I cleared all the cookies. Let's see, just from clear slate. Master of Orion playthrough, impossible difficulty. Let's play Master of Orion. Playlists. 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago, 5k views. Minimal Guardian. Oh, of course, I can also teach you how to defeat Guardian with rockets. However, I guess there are guides like that on the internet, even on the shit tube. So I will be explaining more profound things. Okay, let's see this. 9 years ago, 15 years. Okay, maybe this guy was right after all. Maybe you are right, Caesar. No one is making Master of Orion content at the moment, sadly. That's sad. I mean, I would like to Master of Orion to come back like Heroes of Might and Magic 3. That would be. It's literally nearly the only game which is better than Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and 3. Master of Orion is absolute masterpiece of game dev. Well, 2 years ago, some people made some videos. Damn, that's so sad. 2 years, 1 year ago, I see. That the newest 1 year ago, someone made some content for Master. Yeah, that's pathetic. The greatest game ever made, the greatest Foix strategy, and nearly no one plays it. Oh, there are some other guys who play. I saw was streaming it, but it kinda it's nice to see them play. At the same time, it's painful to watch because they make so many mistakes, and they play nearly the only one build, the newbie build, when they are playing on hard and impossible, and they are playing with silent build basically. You were asking which you recommend. Well, the easiest build is basically Epsilon creative because it's too powerful. Technology is key to everything. It's a basis, it's a ground to everything. However, it can be countered, of course, with spy networks. There are very many different ways to play Master of Orion, and you can create different builds. But of course, it will come with experience. Oh, Day of the Waka is not ended yet. Damn it. Every day is Day of the Waka, and they're insane. Well, at least I fought the law and won. Not like in the song. Pathetic bureaucrats, the officials. But of course with force. With nuclear nuclear submarines. That's exactly. I needed nuclear submarine to show them the power behind me. I'm not even joking. That's insane. How fucking idiotic those officials and bureaucrats are. Oh, I can even show you design documents and in the building and houses. There is a woman sitting, and she's an engineer, in quotation marks, engineer who fucking can't make a design for a building, make a working plan for a building. This is fucking pathetic insects of meat and bone, then fucking parasites. And this woman, she is close, she's close to some of the highest people in the power. Well, what I gained from intelligence. This is fucking disgusting. Well, classic story. Nothing new under the sun. Burn them all with fire. Okay, I'll just show you the design document. Just так, not to show you something you don't need to see. Well, just like that, it will be okay. That's fine. Okay, look here. For example, this. This is a stupid bitch who is sitting on the quite high position in the planning of the whole city building in St. Petersburg. Second most important city in Russia. So, как это, управление, то есть управление стройки всего города, короче. Вот посадили тупую пизду, которая приближена к верхушке власти нашей страны. И вот тупая тварь, недоинженерка, не может даже чертеж составить правильно. Вот сюда вот, look here, 33. And look here. And then look... But in fact, this 33... In fact, in this building, that's flats. That's 33, and this is 33 as well. And this goes on in whole design document. And that's official document. And you see? So there is a program to change window blocks in the nearest buildings, nearest houses. And you can see, накладка за накладкой, how far it will go. Because there are people who are working, well, different companies who are working, and then factories who are making the blocks, and so on. And so the huge amount, the snow avalanche starting from this mistake, only from design document, which this stupid fucking bitch sitting on the high position made. Parasitic bitch. Ну ничего, я до всех доберусь. В принципе, не то, что доберу, я уже добрался. Вот она визжала, мразь поганая. Пальцы гнула там, сразу заткнулась, мразь, обоссалась. Тьфу. Мразь поганая, паразитка. Куда ты денешься с подводной лодки? От капитанов, офицеров. Ползучая паразитка. В общем, that's insane, as you can see. This is very tragic and sad, but that's what we have. And not only in Russia, in everywhere in the world, absolute decadence. And those people, parasitic pieces of shit. Usually it's women. Well, of course, women. All the problems in the world are created by women. I'm not overestimating. That's absolutely fundamental evil. Absolutely every fucking problem in human society created by women. By mothers, first of all. Root of all evil, worse than a devil. Okay, 5-10 minutes, I say 27 minutes, but okay, I also explained stuff about Master Orion. Okay, let's switch to, I think that's enough for now. Well, also I can explain about this classic guy, classic captain of nuclear submarine and rocket submarine, who was here and there on different seas, different oceans in the 80s. He was serving in the 80s and 90s. What a classic guy. Kinda new mate on the road. Not for nothing I forced myself to be as social as possible and got out from depression for a while, for a little bit. Well, of course, depression is always in the shadow and waves are always crashing, but Sapienti sad, but still. Classic guy. Вот с такими дела можно иметь. Ну, вообще, флотские подводники, они не лезут за словом в карман, лишнего не болтают. Очередной раз убедился. У меня просто два товарища. Еще что. Also, after 15 years, even 20 years, I wasn't smoking. I stopped smoking for 15 years. Even 20. Well, pipe. I wasn't smoking pipe, which my sniper made. Да-да-да, тот самый снайпер, про который рассказывал, который told about me, like the moon, ship. Yep. What? Another reason for you guys, if you are younger, don't lose such mates and don't meet as many as you can. Even, well, not every day, but not once a year, because once a year, it's of course you can still be friends, but it's not the same, of course. Even if you're super busy, but so yeah, that's my sniper mate, my old friend. He actually presented me that pipe 20 years ago. Very expensive thing, and also I still remember that it was a great tobacco, and now we smoked with this submariner, but tobacco was quite shit. Well, smoking is trash. Don't smoke, quit it, absolute fucking bullshit, disgusting. Yuck. Horrible. But tobacco was shitty as well. Comparing to that one that I smoked 20 years ago, it was absolute trash. Some cheap one. Or maybe that's just because I wasn't smoking for 15-20 years. But yeah, that's disgusting. Why people smoke? Definitely fucking idiots. Why I was smoking for 10 plus years in the past? Insane. This is the most useless, pathetic, idiotic, moronic, retarded habit ever. And all habits die hard, but yeah. So the pipe I smoked yesterday, but I still feel the shit in mouth. It's disgusting. Так, thank you, have great taste in games, and I look forward to more strategy games on your channel. Well, there are tons of strategy. Thanks as well, Mutual. Well, not Mutual. I don't know your taste in games, but there are tons of strategy games and streams already, without even those which I didn't upload yet. Like 1,000 around. Well, 700 to 1,000, but still you can find tons of brilliant. You even wrote Hunter the Jagged Alliance. So yep, like you have content for years. You can watch it for years already. But maybe you are interested in fresh. Like, well, people are people. What should it be? Humans. Pathetic insects. Okay, let's switch to Master of Orion. After all, maybe later I will tell you about more about. Well, what a classic guy. Similar interests as well. Also kind of lost. Well, he lost his finger. Not almost. He lost actually his finger. There was explosion in the submarine, and he lost finger. And well, classic guy. Старый казах, 60 years old guy. На Роллс-Ройсе приехал. Driving Rolls-Royce. I'm Mustang 1967. He's on Rolls-Royce. Флотские. Трындец. You probably don't understand, but you see that's not in USA, not in Canada, it's in Russia. It's incredibly rare. And he also ладно. No one cares anyway. Just that's what I tell. There is no feedback, well, except Матросов вот здесь, еще не здесь, не знаю, может уже тоже слился, не, вроде. Который ни хрена на флоте-то не служил, при этом Матросов. Ну ладно. Вот же, Мичман же наш еще, который служил на who served on the cruiser Москва, который потопили Ukrainian rocket. That cruiser, rocket heavy cruiser Moscow, he was serving on it. Well, I mean, the other guy, one of our mates from Heroes of Might and Magic community, who is, well, Mishman, actually Mishman. He is Mishman. He was Mishman, he was serving on the cruiser Moscow, and not so long ago before that he went, well, отставку ушел. Потопили нахрен, печально, конечно. Еще твари сообщают, там 10, 20, 30 погибших, ну, бля, поганые твари. Тьфу. I hate and despise every fucking government on this planet. Need to destroy every government on this planet. And burn every pathetic human of meat and bone. Damn virus. RNA, DNA. Destroy. Absurdism. Stop it. Так, ладно, значит, бэк еще раз. Почту я показывать не буду. Ну вот request. current. No, that's better currently. that internet should be lifelong and death long. Forever. Or nevermore. Do you speak Russian? Yep. Да-да-да. Change language. Ты ж знаешь, типа, английский. Слившийся. Матроскин. Ладно. Типа, вот так вот многие из вас типа знают. Ни хера не знают на самом деле. Pathetic insects. Лицемерные зверюшки лживые. Окей. Так, version 1.01. I'll show you, and well, I'll probably will continue on Impossible. Maybe we'll show a little bit from the start, and then we'll continue from Impossible. The game, which I'm actually at the moment playing as creative, but different build, not as... Не понял, а чё это вдруг? Шип не убрался. А, ядрите, еще и не тот был. Нет, что-то там тестил, ладно, нормально. Damn it. Реально? Не то было? Ну ладно, хрен. Так, игра, наверное, комковата. Окей. New game. Well, first of all, if you're a novice player, probably you should play on average. Maybe even on easy, but I recommend on average. Huge... You see... Management is super important, Master of Orion, and as size grows bigger, the more important it becomes. However, there are different parts of Master of Orion which are very fundamental, and I will explain at least part of them. Galaxy Age, well, it's up to you, but I recommend for novice player, I recommend average or maybe even organic reach, it will be easy for you. I'm playing on mineral rich because I know what I'm doing, and I want as many rich planets as possible, but that's not only for me, that's for all the players. Well, for all the players. I'm playing on Impossible, of course. On Impossible they have higher stats, higher points to spend for races, so they have additional bonuses. So basically they are cheaters. They have stronger economy, stronger everything. They have stronger bonuses to everything on Impossible, so it's pretty... well, it speaks in itself. It's quite impossible, but not for me anymore, and not for super hardcore players. Of course, I didn't play for years, but in the past I was remembering everything by heart, like all technology trees, everything. But at the moment, well, I didn't play for years. Hello there. How is going in Israel? Was even mentioning you as a player who kind of at the moment streaming Master of Orion, but I was criticizing you as well because you're making too many mistakes. I like your plays, but at the same time sometimes it's very painful to watch because you're making a lot of mistakes, and because you're playing only, well, basically on one build. I call it a newbie build, the silent build with creative and research. It's the easiest way possible. I mean, I don't even consider it impossible impossible to play like that. It's like easier for us. Anyway, don't get too close to heart. But there was a guy at the moment, the new player who starts to play Master of Orion, and he asked me to make a guide for him, and not only for him, it will be useful for advanced players as well. Probably will not be so useful to players like me who already can win the game on impossible on small with 8 players pre-warp and with all minus bonuses. So like something like this. This is a true hardcore to play like this. Minus 20 basically on small galaxy, 8 players on impossible. This is literally quite impossible, but it is possible. I won it in the past, not even once, but at the moment, again, I didn't play for years, and I just reminding myself that overall just was enjoying the brilliance, the greatest strategy for X game ever made. And since I is, and probably always will be, and that's a usual way for intelligent creature to be in depression. That's one of the reasons why microphone was off. But again, there are many factors. Not all the time my microphone is off. There is a construction site nearby at the moment. The road is widened. So I was battling officials, bureaucrats, and Dave the Waka every day. So there are many. There were, and at the moment I'm very busy. So, and probably the next week I will be pretty busy as well, and there will be very much noise and loudness around. So compressor, everything. So even if I will be streaming, I will be streaming with mic off probably. However, if there will be requests and feedback, if you are okay with that noise and everything, maybe I will turn it on, because again I forced myself to be as social as possible, even while I'm quite an asocial person. So yeah, but okay, back to it again. I already explained everything. It's just Niseg joined the stream as well, who is streaming Master of Orion. Maybe Caesar and the other person who wrote on my email, who asked to make a guide and to explain how to play better in Master of Orion, you can join him maybe as well. Because, well, again, no offense, but you know, there is a threshold, like in done players or professional players in Go, for example, or chess. The lower level players, they sadly they can't understand the highest players' decision making. I will try to explain the best of my ability, but still, there is a threshold in anything like that. So probably even for Novice, for Caesar, probably I would go for average. And again, the version of the game is very important, because, for example, 0.01, as I played in the 90s and the 20s, the creative cost only 6 points there. You see, creative is one of the most powerful picks you can, special abilities you can take. And of course, first of all, the most important advice, since you asked advice, I can tell you, read the manual. Master Orion has absolutely brilliant manual, and even very strong players sometimes don't know things which are written there. Read the F manual. Yep, creative for 6. Then, and if I remember correctly, in version 1.20 or definitely in 1.31, they changed it to 8. So basically, silence. They had creative, and also they have had rich home world. So +2 more. Not rich, but artifacts world. +2 research also in home planet. They allow gravity world also. But still, after the patch, they can't have artifact world anymore. So, if I remember correctly, they have large home world, not artifacts world. Yep, exactly, that's right. Because of the 2 points difference. And that's huge. Creative is one of the most powerful things. You learn every technology, and technology is basis. That's why I consider creative guys who's based on research one of the easiest way to play for novice player. Just technology is key to everything. But again, you can steal, you can make intelligence, you can spy, you can steal the technology. So there are quite unlimited way, well, not unlimited, but very high quantity of ways you can play it, and you can create different strategies and different tactics. As you asked, what do you recommend? Some builds you should play. Again, most players make this mistake all the time. Even Nisig, who plays a lot of Master of Orion, and I know even advanced players, they make this mistake. They don't consider the current circumstances. You need to check infographs nearly, well, if perfectly, you want to make it perfectly, you need to check every turn. You need to check infograph. You need to check where you are, where your enemies are, what technologies they have, what do you, well, you need to know what are you doing, what they are doing, and dance from there, figuratively speaking. That's very important. Also diplomacy. Again, Nisig, I will explain to you why your diplomacy sucks so bad. Because to be successful in diplomacy, you need to have a leverage. Without leverage, they don't, like in reality, if you're a fucking pathetic weakling and loser, no one will will keep the agreement. They will just stomp and destroy you. That's it. Rome laws still work. Natural selection. The nature is very cruel. Cruel. Life is cruel. Okay, let me load. I even continue. Well, this was 7th September, right? Yeah. That's it. That's right. Or maybe let me save it. Let me show the new one. It will be just more obvious for newer player who just started. Well, I'm glad overall that there are newer players who have started to play the greatest game ever made, greatest strategy, 4x strategy for sure. Okay, average. Also, well, it will be overwhelming for new player to play on huge, so medium will suffice, I think, or maybe large. Okay, average, for example, I don't know, 5, and then like that. Also, very important recommendation: almost everything can be clicked with the right button, and there is brilliant descriptions of quite everything, every option. So you can and should do that. Well, read them, like literally, that's the most important recommendation and advice. Since you asked for advice, I can make it. read the manual, which is absolutely brilliant, and right click quite everything to learn faster and remember it. Train your memory. It's up to you, of course. Random events, it's just when I was younger, I actually prefer to play without it because it's additional RNG, and I don't like RNG. Well, the stronger the player is, stronger player should minimize RNG, like in chess or Go, for example, if you know what I mean. So there is no random at all. So that's why I was playing without random. And then Antares. Also, Nisig, I saw you win, which I consider a lose when you won with Antaran's attack, while in fact you were losing the game 100%. And you said a win is a win, and I laughed. I laughed because I considered that a lose. That was funny. Sakura completely would destroy you if you wouldn't attack Antares. Hey, a win is a win. No. Everyone lose. There are no winners, especially in that circumstances, which you didn't see. Also, of course, one of the main recommendations: use hotkeys. It's very painful to just respect your time and respect time of others, especially if you're streaming, because to see how you click hundreds of times, repeat click, that's use hotkeys, please. Don't be the person who doesn't use hotkeys. Okay, except that's it. Custom also in version 1.0, the first version, without patches, you could create custom race only on average. On easy and tutor you couldn't at all. And then with patched version they also made easy and tutor difficulty levels even easier than so. And if I remember correctly, in 1.31 you can play custom all even on easy, even on tutor. So let me just show you the races. Of course, you can check them out, but the whole another you should understand how fucking brilliant this game is, especially back for the day, and it's still no game come close, except maybe Civilization. But again, Civilization sucks ass comparing to Master of Orion because RNG in Civilization is insane. While Master of Orion is absolute brilliant game of skill and intelligence. And the races, the amount of games, thousands of games which which copy-pasted, plagiarized Master of Orion. It's like System Shock in 4X genre. Master of Orion and Civilization, the whales on which 4X is built. So silence, again, the easiest way for novice players, because again, scientific research, creative, that's the basis for everything. Technology rules. Yeah, it is a cheesy win attacking Antares, especially when you are losing so absolutely losing 100% on the main map. That's absolute cheese. This is not a win. This is a loss. So if you don't want to play with RNG or minimize, however, Master of Orion, I recommend to play Master of Orion 1 because it's, that's godfather of all 4X games, along with Civilization 1. If you didn't play them, you must, if you like strategy games. If you haven't played them, you don't know shit about strategy games and 4X genre at all. So, значит, silence, back to it. Technology is key to everything. That's why silence are one of the easiest races you can play as a novice player. Especially in version 1.01, where they have scientific research +2, creative, and also artifact home, which gives +more from every scientist as well. It's insane. However, the mine is low gravity, so they have minus 25% for workers on normal gravity and minuses for workers even on normal gravity, 25%. Dictatorship. Also let me explain you about governments. Very important as well. Well, it would make perfect sense for them to have democracy actually, because democracy gives plus 50 all research generated by scientists also, and taxes, revenues. However, they have problems with spies. And silence have problems with spies, especially wait. If Darlocks are playing, of course. Oh, damn. Intelligence is very powerful. Spying is very important bonus actually, which everything is important in this game. Of course there is no balance, like in every game there is no balance. Even StarCraft Brood War doesn't have balance. Nothing is balanced. That makes it even more fun. But still, there are different ways to play it. So you should know all the special abilities. Even I understand that as a novice player it can be overwhelming, but I recommend to read everything and try to remember. Or just again, you asked why I'm still playing 30 years later. Well, because generations are different. You never know which race is near you, especially if you will have the races like silicoids who are repulsive and impossible. More of them will be repulsive, like repulsive Bullrati. Tons of factors, and you should play. That's why I told you should play from current situation. You should analyze it, and that the abyss between advanced player and like close to pro or player, very strong one. It's abyssal difference. So feudal actually very powerful with warlord, because the ships for them is cost is reduced for battleships. But problems with technology. For example, you can play feudal intelligent warlord. But I like dictatorship. In reality, dictatorship works far better than democracy. First of all, let's be honest. And unification, of course, but well, sadly we can't be bees, or we can't be ants, but we can be Claykons. One of my favorite races actually in Master of Orion, and my favorite artwork of them all, definitely. But I just for different, I'm playing different color. Well, favorite color is green, then blue. But yeah, Claykons are classy. I call them space cockroaches. Galactic cockroach. But yeah, space cockroaches. Population growth, sacred. Tons of every race is very well designed. Like this is insane how brilliant this game is. Like, every race has its sense, its purpose. There is. It's fantastic. Valerians are very powerful. basically matriarchal society where philosophers are omniscient. So the male people of Valerians, they are doing all the telepathy, mind control things, while Wumal, pathetic, fundamental evil, is doing all the war. So a matriarchal society, very well designed race as well. They despise them, by the way. Of course, obviously. Because gynocentrism is everywhere anyway. Don't need it in the game. But okay, really. At least they're going and dying there. Not like in reality, sadly. So for Valerians, all the power positions held by Wumal, while men are philosophers and mind controllers, telepaths. I recommend to play in dictatorship for novice players. However, it's up to you again. Just choose whatever you like and then play from there. But of course there are synergies, like democracy with science bonuses, for example, because again, taxes and research points, 50%, and then there is technology which makes it even stronger. And dictatorship as well. Unification, democracy becomes federation, dictatorship, and so on. Also, I recommend to check technology tree to know where you're going, what are you doing, but that's not necessary actually. So, you see, and just enjoy the brilliant game first of all, because in fact I like to play from the start, and I wish even I wouldn't know anything about this game, because that's the most brilliant for the first time when you have clear slate, zero experience in something, and you learn. Well, of course creatures are different, but I enjoy it the most when I analyze, when I learn. I have analytical mind, very powerful logic behind cognitive abilities. So, but I guess anyone for whom strategy genre is a favorite should be like that at least a little bit. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but or you can play feudal dictatorship if you want to play like warrior. Then of course defense, attack. You can also, if you want to play with beams, yes. If you don't want, you can take minus. Then you should rely on missiles more than on beams, because with beams you will not hit, but for missiles it doesn't give a shit about this ship attack bonus. And then you should see what technologies you're going into. For example, probably scanners to lower the missile evasion and so on. You see, you need to understand those concepts and implement and use those bonuses which fit your play style and your build, your idea. So it's very complex, but at the same time, if you understand the basics, if you understand the synergies, it will make perfect sense, and it will go from there. But again, you need experience. It will grow with time. I definitely do not recommend to play with uncreative for novice players, and I also don't recommend. Well, I kinda recommend, if you want to easy wins, easy play, just learn a little bit of game, you can play with creative to just to research the technology tree and technologies and what they do. You can play with creative. However, for advanced and overall to player with experience who already played, I never recommend to play with creative, because it destroys so many in this game. it destroys the decision making, the most important decision making in technology tree. That's one of the most interesting aspects, as I see it, to choose between different technologies. However, you will skip some of them, but then you can spy, you can steal the technology from the enemies, or not just enemies, opponents. And not only with spies or intelligence, you can do that with ground combat or mind control. So you see that's again, you asked why I'm still playing this game after 30 years later. That's why. No game is the same. It's like you're playing Go in the most philosophical way possible, metaphysical even. It's the picture every time. It's a different canvas, different picture. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's just not take anything. So, as you can see, there is black hole. We don't see. There is a nebula. When pretty bad position, I should say, because nebula will nebula slower our speed of traveling. At least until you don't have navigation leaders, another huge topic. Well, I'll try to explain as best as I can, but of course the game is too complex, too huge. I probably will not be able to explain everything in 2-3 hours, but I'll explain the basis and the most important aspects at least. Okay, first of all, we generated the galaxy. What should you look on? Well, it's for more advanced players, not for novices, but you should actually check the colors of the stars. This is a very cool star, brown one, very rare one, usually 0, 1 or 2 on the whole galaxy, and you can click on them as well, and there are descriptions. Like then even thousands of hours I'm playing this game, and I'm still amazed how brilliant it is. Absolute masterpiece. So the colder the star is, the more probability that it will be mineral rich, and at the same time the more probability that it will not have any food. So, but barely support life. White stars, fair chance of having planets. This planet will. So you should try to remember that as well, or don't remember. Just click. You should pay attention to that as well. Scientific stuff, by the way. Nebulas. We don't see any wormholes yet. The black hole. You can't go through them. Again, but if you have navigator skill. But that's okay. We will come back to that later. Maybe. Every game starts at 3500, so every .1 is 1 turn. Then treasury, command points, uber important. As a novices make a lot of mistakes in this, and they don't quite understand. Well, usually, especially if they don't read the manual, this stuff, they don't understand how command point works, and that makes them suffer. And because extra 1 is minus 10 BC if you don't have the support for command points. And every ship, non-combat as well, takes command points. Transport as well. And every size of... Well, just click everything. Read the manual and click everything. And I think actually Warlord is very powerful ability, which should cost more, as well as Creative 6 Warlord. Warlord should be a little bit more expensive. It's just too good, especially on like the smaller the galaxy, the more important it is. It's not obvious. Usually you think, well, huge galaxy is more important because more stars, but no, actually. Well, depends, but usually it's more important on small ones because it's very scarce, and especially if you're playing with 7 other players, well, 8 overall. You will know what I mean if you will play it. Okay, then food. Basically, you should definitely, that's the most basic, profound advice I can give you and recommendation for a new player. You should keep it at 0, just perfect balance. If you're playing with fantastic traders, 1 plus gives you +1 BC, but also if you play fantastic traders, you can just trade goods and you will have +100% more in that. But okay, I think that's for more advanced players. At the moment you should just remember 100% that you should keep it at +0. If it will be minus, then population, well, not necessary, but population will starve, and depends on your growing speed, they can die. So this represents million of population. You can like literally you can click nearly everything and read all that stuff. So at the moment it's 73, as you can see, housing, which will make our industry go into housing. 83, we can raise it even. For super advanced players, in management colonization, for example, you have tons of colonies and planets. Housing is very powerful actually if used right. Then you should do next. You should just with freighters traverse all the population to other planets and systems, and just leave one on housing, and you will have huge population boosts. Almost 800,000. Well, basically almost 1 million. Well, basically almost one population in turn, which is very, very strong. I don't care about score, but still, if you will care, some people care about score, because all the population captured and captured goes into the score as well. Every population. And not just because of the score. You just need population. It's like in real life, that they are your slaves. You're a governor, and you need slaves. You need meat. You need the productive powers. You need scientists. You need workers. You need farmers. So, the more you have, the better. And that's again why Wumal is fundamental evil. That's why we have genocentric society, and that's why in all the times we actually had matriarchal society. Because new meat, new slaves are needed. That's why women actually never were oppressed. Men were. The only brutal channel on the internet who will tell you truth higher than divided line. Socrates and Plato would be proud. So cool, yep. Okay, next, freighters. Well, you shouldn't make more than you need, but sometimes, especially if you are conquering a lot, and if you're especially if you're playing industrial kind of race with industry bonus 1 or 2 and unification and so on, then probably you have some extra ones, but also you can scrap them anytime, and they don't. eat any of your BCs, except those one which are in use, they actually eat a little bit. Oh, 1 second, let me show you. Let me show you my notes, very important notes, which I... Так, settings for MoO... No, settings for MoO... It's... Well, it's basically for DOS, I optimized the cycles, frame skip. If 0 will not work, try 2. And memory size, I recommend 64/128 if you are using DOS box. Cycles, if auto would be lagging, limit them. Well, I recommend to limit at 95,000, 80%. But basically make 50 to 75. 75,000 will be fine. Okay, important notes. Well, basically manual plus also stuff, a little bit stuff from me. Let me show you. Well, just what I told you about Larians. While the Wumel fight, the all-male philosopher cast has developed incredible mental powers. The meditations have produced remote knowledge of every system in the galaxy, and the telepathic powers are second to none. This galaxy. But other challenges await. The Master Orion. Damn. What a game. Every time I hear it, what a game. So yep, very few players know that each freighter requires half BC in maintenance each turn if it is in use. Almost no one knows that. But I do, and I'm sharing it with you. So very, very important things like this you should know, but it's for advanced players, of course. Well, you can stop the stream and just read them all. I will not, well, on what I... Bombs never miss. Well, very important stuff here. Just stop the stream and read everything. I will not explain every stuff that I wrote here at the moment. This stuff I should probably explain, but okay, that's for super advanced players, and maybe some other day, some other time, maybe next time. Which means Sapienti said. Looks like cheat codes. Nope, that's not. That's actual information on Master of Orion. Easy. If you know what it is. And if you play it for thousands of hours, I think some players would actually understand what it is. Also, I probably should say stuff about bugs for you to know. The one, well, couple of them, very unfortunate ones, was the sound with memory overflow, stack overflow in races, especially in huge galaxy. And not only huge galaxy, if you are playing with 7 other players. And just what I told you, you want to check, you want to analyze, you need to know everything and to play from that state. Unfortunately, if you click I can't even click because we don't have contact at the moment. But R is report, A audience. Well, most of the time the hotkey is the first letter. So colon is C, planet P, fleets F, and so on. So when you're clicking report on the guys on one turn many times, unfortunately the version 101 and probably even 31 doesn't have well, it has some memory collection, but it's kind of slow. So if you click many times and not many times on one turn, the stack overflow will be, and the game will crash. You need just to know that. And well, save the game. There are hotkeys for saving as well, F9, F10, and so on. There are Fs, but unfortunately at the same time there are some hotkeys like F5, for example. Clicking different systems, if you will click it many times, the sound can bug out and game can crash as well. for version 101, for at least, I don't remember, in 131 they fixed it or not, probably not, but maybe they did. they fixed something, so but okay, that's for uber advanced play. That will not help novices in any gameplay way, but still. Okay, so we generated galaxy. So stars, star colors, then nebulas, super important, because again, nebulas, black holes, and wormholes. For example, wormhole can connect two star systems on the galaxy, on the very like from the corner to corner, on the huge quantity of light years, and still you will be able to jump, to make a space jump from it to the next star connected with wormhole in just one turn. No exceptions. So very important. Wormholes are very important, tactically and strategically, as well as nebulas. It's easier to defend, but on the other hand, it's в общем, и мешает вам, и в то же время и помогает в каком-то мере, но больше скорее мешает, чем помогает, потому что... Well, depends on your position. If you are losing, if you are winning, depends again, it depends. So that's first thing, what you should... Then you have, if you are playing on average, not on pre-warp, you have scouts and colony ship already. Well, obviously you want to check, and even if you don't, you want to check all the... star systems, because they can be natives, they can be well, they can be, it's not a random event, how to call it, they can be officers, legendary leaders that can join you and also will give you technology, or even a star, not star system, but a planet on star system. So you should always explore and gain intelligence on nearby systems. That's why technology is so important in everything, and fuel cells are very important. How far you can travel, you see. So you should know all the technologies. I like to play from pre-warp actually, because even the most basic ones you need to research it. Like for example scouts and so on. You see, you can design, and scouts, they have extended fuel tanks, and this is technology like that, which adds ship range and colony ships as well. They have it. So for example, if you have fuels for 4 parsecs and information, there is tech review, and you can see there's achievement, colony, weapons, and equipment, drives and equipment, nuclear drive. From the start on average, you can move with 2 parsecs per turn, but fuel tanks are there as well. By default, standard fuel cells giving you 4, so 50% more, 6. Also very important hotkey, which very few people know exists because they never read manual. F9. And I actually, before it was well, I forgot it, and I forgot it because I wasn't playing Master of Orion for 2 or 3 years, and now I reread manual partly, and well, that's very important to check and calculate how many parsecs from one star system to another. Super important, super useful. Use it wisely, insects. And again, yeah, your willingful donations are very appreciated. That's why this streaming project is still alive. Так, but okay. The problem is, again, for Westerners, they probably can't even send it straight. They need to send on Patreon, and on Patreon I can't even take it out. But I can give the account, give the account to my Turkish mate, a Ukrainian mate, and they will just give me cash hand in hand, and then I still have a couple of $100 there actually on Shitri on Patreon. Still need to do. Oh yeah, because even Ukrainian mate said that he couldn't even transfer funds straight to the Visa card number. This is insane. Even before war started, still, if I remember correctly, or maybe before war he could, but now he can't for sure. Anyway, okay, back. But if you wish, of course, we will find a way. We will find a way. Write to my email if you are interested. If you're not a parasite. Так, окей, back. Значит, freighters. Also, probably I should make a little stop and open my document to say my gratitude to the people who supported the channel even while I was not streaming. So let me. And this doc, it's somewhere under. Well, somewhere you'll find it. Just doc or something under in the description of the channel. It is there. With tons of stuff, tons of information, reviews. Very well, with very solid criterions. Of course, criterions. Different people can have different criterions, but I have the system, quite an objective system with criterions. But to be utterly, completely objective, everyone in the world, so 7 billion of idiots should accept it. But that's, of course, it's quite impossible. But still, anyway. A lot of stuff there. Shadowrun, well. And yeah, for newer viewers and listeners, my channel is not only about games, it's also about physics and mathematics, and nuclear physics, which, well, in the past I was assistant professor, so a lot of stuff was going on in my miserable life. The master of everything, the master of none. Damn polymaths. So let's see. Ивану, да, спасибо. Вот, Иван последние 3 месяца донатил. Ну, конечно же, Сергею. T12, T12. Редко, но метко, так сказать. Просто то, что на серваках, конечно, на что-то надо еще и жить. Так что а теперь еще с этими проблемами, солюшенами, ну, пришлось потратиться тут, конечно. Ну, зато заткнул мразей поганых. Еще дешево вышла атомная подводная лодка, конечно, подороже стоит в 1000 раз. А то и... Ладно. Anyway, my gratitude to the people who support streaming project. And me and yourself, actually, in this way. Sapienti Sat. What else? Okay. ПЛ решают очень многие вопросы. Любая ПЛ, даже самая простая дизельная электрическая, решает комплекс задач. Что подводникам heads off. Ну вот, с товарищем, говорю, тут сразу общий язык нашли. Капитан подлодки с 80-х до 90-х бороздил Японское море, там много морей, там в Европе. Уже на дно там взрыв произошел, палец оторвал. Ну, в общем, сразу общий язык нашли, какие-то даже общие, this world life is what a fucking tragicomedy. Reality is not real, it's all a joke. It's fucking simulation. Quantum physics. Тьфу. Damn it. В общем, два флотских бедолаги, я что-то между сухопутной и не сухопутной крысой и вообще не крысой. Так что да, у меня же замашки флотского очень многие с ранних самых пор. Но так сложилось, damn fate, что все-таки не на флот, а в разведку военную. Ну что поделать, и потом в артиллерию. Управление разведки, а потом там и командование. Ну, ладно, кто знает, тот знает. Но тем не менее, он-то так и думает, что я ему как бы не говорил ничего. Но он думает, очевидно, по моим замашкам, что флотский. Как бы свой-чужой, сработало идеально. Ну тут по-любому свои, тут без вариантов, как бы. Вот, а человек как посредник, по сути, между, а там госзаказчик поганый. Вот посадили с верхов, самых верхов, то есть самая верхушка вот власти, вот эту тупую недоинженерку, чью-то доченьку. Наглая тварь, поганая, тупая, еще и хамит. Вот этому подводнику 60 лет, капитан какого-то там, я не помню, 2-го ранга, наверное, где-то. Хотя нет, в запас-то он еще ушел, наверное, даже в звании повыше, но не суть. Ой. Отвлеклись от мастера Orion, ничего, как бы couple of minutes lyrical escape. So again, most of the time I stream on English and Russian, and sadly a lot of people who know Russian don't know English and vice versa. Ну ладно, да, про подлодки мы сейчас, иначе я сейчас состава понесет. Буду 2 часа про подлодки рассказывать. И чем же они так комплексные, и какие же это великолепные инструменты, как топор, по сути. Это как подлодка, это как топор, понимаете? Ну нет, не понимаете. Как бы дуализм жизни и смерти. Почему вообще с подводником у меня такой, хороший контакт всегда с моряками, подводниками особенно, понимаете? У каждого подводника не просто рядом со смертью, а смерть всегда на плече сидит, как и у меня. То есть это люди, которые всегда со смертью ходят вместе. То есть у них жены с собой всегда. То есть смерть всегда с собой, как у меня всегда верная жена с собой, смерть. Так и у подводников, у большинства из них, по крайней мере. Так что смерть все меняет. Еще раз объясняю. Death changes everything. Submariners, they live with death. The loyal wife, death is my loyal wife, and for a lot of submariners as well. So that's why don't have problems with communication. Understand half a word and already understand each other. The problem to communicate. What we've got here is failure to communicate. Yeah. Stuff that dreams are made of. Okay, back to Master of Orion. Maybe next time I will tell you about SS submariners, nuclear submarines, rocket submarines, and diesel, and so on. Так, what we stopped on technology and the importance of technology, right? Of course, and the fuel cells, and why you should visit all possible star systems you can. That's why. So again, depends on who you play. There is no 100% rule. It's all the time. It depends with whom you play. Cybernetic, lethal war. You eat minerals. You eat food. It all depends on that. You decide where are you going first. On cold stars, on hot stars, on systems which more probably, but again, it's for very advanced players. It's like for mad scientists. Even advanced players probably don't think like I do. But if you want to be insanely good at this game, listen what I say and remember. So you depends on that, on probability of mineral richness or vice versa, or supporting life you send. Depends on whom you play, cybernetic or lethal war, or people who eat a lot. Maybe you have -2 food. If you have -2 food, definitely you need hot stars. If you have cybernetic, you eat minerals, definitely you need the mineral rich ones, the colder ones. So for example, let's we don't have any bonuses, but let's imagine that we have mineral rich, we are cybernetic, and we have industry plus, for example. We just have dictatorship and that's it. We don't have any bonus. So of course, of course then I want some cold stars. And you see the problem of nebula. 5 turns, it's like we're traveling 10 parsecs. Insane. And but it's not, it's just because of the nebula. You see, only 5 parsecs. Pain in the arse. Okay, let's... Of course, probably you should not send the colony ship alone, because if there is Guardian, if it can be Orion, it can be Space Monster, and then problem. But I'll just do that. Then, of course, first. But even if you will not click, the game will tell you. Even if you're a silly insect, the game will tell you what to research. Even if you click turn, it will tell. It will show up the research screen. Also, you should check your main oh, not that bad. A lot of players also underestimate poor ones. Everything should be in consideration. Radiated, toxic it is or not. Gravity, how big or small, tiny, huge it is. It's like, for example, a huge one. Especially in the mid game, is better than like tiny rich one. and so on. When you already have technologies, for example, you have automated factories, you have deep mines, robo-miners, and so on. You already can, well, you can't remove the poorness, but you can negate it kind of. You can make it rich with the factories, if you know what I mean. So more population you have, actually the planet will be more important than the tiny rich one. It will be more powerful in industrial complex than the rich planet. You see? So very important. Very tough choice in biospheres against hydroponic farm. Super tough choice. Depends again on the race you play, because you only it's super easy choice if you're lethivore or maybe even cybernetic. But cybernetic still, you need food. You eat half of the mineral, but still you need food. In long run, biospheres are more important, but by that time probably you will steal or exchange, if you are not repulsive, of course. You will exchange the stack, most likely, or find it. Not 100%, but probably you will. So farm is a good pick from in the start, and then biospheres, which give +2 max population, you must get it. It's a very powerful one, easy to get, and very good one. +2 max population, very important one. If you're playing scientific ones, and not only scientific ones, you need research laboratories. Everyone needs research laboratories. It's like research is key again. It's basis for everything. Even manual will tell you, like, if you will be behind in technology, you are a fucking cockroach. They will just smash you like a bug. You're like a salad for Antares. Yeah. And of course, you want to raise your industry, you want to raise your research. Also, you should divide. Like, for example, you found rich or ultra-rich system or planet. You can make a base of industry there. And maybe you will find artifacts. Or maybe without even artifacts. Maybe you want to maximize science there, and you do that. So you should make specialization on different planets. Let's save. Let's load, and I will load my last game on Impossible, and I will show you what I mean by that. For example, from the start, on this one, I started with bonus for science. So the main one, first one, that's my home base, Neutrality II. There is specialization for food. I made it bonuses for food, plus for soil, +1 and +2 for every and one. And as you can see, one planet supports all life, on non-life, non-existent. I prefer to say non-existence of my stony guys, but actually they're not. They actually are creative and scientific ones this time. It's just I wanted to play like a newbie this third time. Kinda. And then science. And the ultra-rich one, Uber specialization on industry, of course. But still, you can easily build scientific. They will give you research points, even without scientists there. Like scientific +5 and 1 for each. Then supercomputer +10 and +2 for each scientist, and so Of course, Auto Lab, very important as well, plus 30. That's a little bit, it's already in mid-game, but first of all, we have a lab. So you should make those specializations to be maximum effective. But again, it's probably for more advanced players, but for you as a novice player, as a newbie, you should strive to the balance to be most effective. And every turn, like you have, for example, max population, automatically they fall into the food. Also, I needed to start from the settings, of course. There is, because by default, if I remember correctly, end of turn weight probably turned off. But I recommend to play each turn, each turn, T and turn, and to play each turn, especially if you someday you will play in multiplayer anyway. This is the way it's supposed to be. Also, expanding help, you should turn it on. So basically everything should be turned on except auto-select colony. I don't recommend that. However, you maybe you will like it. Actually, the last one in colony. I prefer colony management anyway, but if you turn it on, then the last one planet will open without opening the star system. Can be useful, but I don't like it. So the planet size is most important? No. Richness is actually more important, but again, it's depends on your technological level and from the current situation. Again, everything in Master of Orion is very dynamic, complex and dynamic. You should check from current state. You should check history graphs. Are you behind? Are you ahead of in population? You should check if you want to play perfectly or close to perfection, abstract perfect. You should check it every turn, but of course I know that many players do not want to do that. Also, it takes a lot of time. But you need to know what enemies are doing, how powerful their fleets, and also if you can check their fleets by clicking on the fleets. Maybe there are tons of transports on Bulrati, for example, and most of them, a lot of them like to build transport ships, and they are shown there as well. Tech, of course, the most important. Well, all of it is important. Of course, it will. Also, you need experience to understand and to read it precisely, to understand how important it is and so on. But it will. You will get there with experience. You need to know your technology. Of course, bonuses on Impossible. They have tons of bonuses. There's even, well, everything. You should read everything. Read the manual. And then you can report and click on every each of them to know what they have, and you should know that. So to battle, to have a war against someone who is stronger than you, have higher fleet and have better weapons and technology is a way to abyss, to your loss. So you shouldn't do. Well, obviously, more importantly, you should be ahead, but it's not, especially not easy. It's quite impossible. On Impossible, you need to have leverage again. For diplomacy is very tough in this game, especially for novice players, because they don't understand how leverage works. Because you can make a non-aggression pact, peace treaty, and so on, alliance. But if you are a pathetic loser of meat and bone and you are weakling, they will smash you like a bug. Like there is no non-aggression pact at all. But if you have leverage, if you are powerful enough, they will quite never stop the well, not quite never. They can, especially if you spy on them. If you also Daleks and some other races, they can steal other technology and tell well, kind of sabotage you, telling them that you stole it. And then, so there are such things in this game as well. Underground water stones. You need to know those tricks and stuff. You can do that as well. It's absolutely brilliant game. Damn. But again, very important to understand the leverage and how it works. So, if you're a pathetic weakling and you think, "Ooh, I have an aggression pocket, why are they attacking me?" Because you're a fucking loser. That's why. And you don't have anything, any leverage to go against them. Of course, they will squish you like a bug and just capture all your star systems. Rome power. You should have something. You should have military. You should have fleet. You need to have something to counter your opponents. Partners, but opponents or enemies. All of them are enemies. If they are not if they're not with us, they're against us. Classic. Because if you even will have perfect defense, star bases, missile bases, fighter garrisons, all that stuff, but you will not have fleet, they will just blockade all your systems. And that's it. Blockaded systems, industry, two times slower, everything. Well, you can't do shit. And they will blockade, your people will starve, fleets are gone, people are enslaved. That's what will that's what happens. Noob. Let me show you what will happen. Так, okay, who is the most powerful here? Of course, Clayton, no one touched. And in the previous game as well, Clayton was exactly in this corner and no one was around. And they had like pure freedom to do what they want. And this time as well. Lucky bastards. Okay, let's just surrender to them. I'll just show you what will be with you pathetic insects. Yes. Oi. Damn it, I clicked. Also they fixed in version 1.1 Hall of Fame is not working, sadly. In version 1.31 they finally fixed it. in version 1 it just clears every time.
Your power is gone, fleet destroyed, armies scattered, cities crushed, people enslaved. Your insolence has cost you your empire.
Classy. This galaxy, but other challenges await. The Master of Orion. Okay, so next, fuel cells and importance of drive speed, which is in power, chemistry. So you should know technology tree. But again, don't try to memorize everything from the start. Well, if you're a genius, you can, of course. But just play as it goes, enjoy this brilliant game. But you should know, like, first, second time, maybe you will lose, maybe you will win. I don't know, but try to remember. Or just click here. You can click on every every technology here and to see what it is doing and choose wisely. Insect. But there are some technologies which are super powerful, like city planning, for example, which gives +5 population everywhere, or megafluxers, for example, which give +25% space for every ship. So there are very powerful technologies which almost always you would pick. Like very rarely you will pick something else there. Maybe you like, let me think in which, well, there are conditions in which you will take something different actually. For example, high energy focus. But no, there are very universal powerful technologies which you will take nearly 100% of times. They're just too good. I consider megafluxers better than high energy focus. It's more universal. It's absolutely universal. And with the space you can do everything you want. You see, you don't need to make beam builds. You can play the whole game with missiles, for example. You can take minus attack, plus for defense, or just minus attack without minus or plus to defense, and you can just play with torpedoes or missiles, and that's it. You can just play from those and that's it. No computers, don't even need computer. Like for example, I saw also when you're making missile builds, you don't even need computer. You should remove computer from design. It's for you, Nisig, because you're just you're paying the price for computer, and it gives you nothing. You only need computer when you are making beam builds. You need to remove it. But of course, when you click design, it's by default it's there. But if I remember correctly, there was an option, a setting, which maybe turns it off. So again, design wisely, maybe you want just scouts. You need to remove shields, remove computers. If you're playing a missile build, you should remove computer because it's only for beam attack. And you need to research scanners and communication stuff which lowers missile evasion for enemies. And specials, of course. There are tons of different ways, again. But yeah, the some of the best things in newer version is that some hotkeys were fixed. For example, Alt F4, which was relocation stuff. Very few people. Well, it's for like super advanced players. Even I rarely use it, but sometimes I do. So it was Alt plus F4 for canceling relocation. They changed it for Alt F5 and so on and stuff like that. Also, some useful hotkeys and binds added in colony and in building. I miss them, but still, I just like to play original Master of Orion version 1 or even 1.01. It's just like I played it when I was very young, and I just like smiling that original experience in computer clubs. And then my first computer, which I bought in early zeros, 20 zeros, and I earned it with blood and salt. Как там пот? Я забыл что-то на английском. Как пот-то там? Forgot the word. Okay, what? Okay, let's skip some turns. I think I explained the basics, like the most fundamental ones. Because all the fleets, planets, button, of course, but yeah, that's a little bit later. But actually, yeah, the most fundamental, most important part, which quite no one will tell you, even if they would make a guide, they probably wouldn't tell you. I covered already. Because people are people, what to say. Oh, Space Hydra. Natives. Exactly what I told you. Perfect. Minus colony ship. That's what. That's exactly like I told you. That's why you probably should not send the colony ship before the intelligence gained and the instant example, instant approval of that. Oh yeah, I think I streamed, or maybe not. Well, I don't remember if I streamed the original Master of Orion, the first one. I like to play it sometimes as well. I don't maybe well, I will stream it as well. No, I didn't stream it. 12 doesn't remember that. Maybe I didn't. In my memory, I streamed one time. Yeah, Master of Orion, first and second. Absolutely the greatest 4X strategy games ever made, and overall strategies. So yeah, in my main recommendation, click on everything, right? Stands. So you need to know like how Gaia, Tyrann, Baron, Waste, Swamp, what it means, how many food per farmer, like poor, rich, ultra rich, how many industry per worker. Well, most likely, not most likely, I recommend to memorize it. And all the penalties as well from radiated and toxic. Well, very easy actually to remember, 25% and 50%, and then depending on your gravity as well, if you're low or high gravity. But also high gravity, they take 2 times. Also transports are very powerful. Also it's very annoying to watch how you destroy all the planets. Just capture the precious resources, precious slaves, precious population, damn it. That's all. Just use the damn transports if you don't want to play as telepath. Actually, I would raise for this cost for the special ability as well. It's too powerful. Not only mind control, but also some people don't know, but in battle, if you capture in battle, telepaths, they can control those ships in the same battle, same turn. Only those ones, no one else. Everyone else only after battle and the next. But telepaths with mind control, they capture the ship and fight, and that's it. They can use the ship right in the fight. Also diplomacy as well. So yeah, it's too powerful. You need transporters still against the mind controllers. You can't mind control telepaths, can't mind control telepaths. So you need transports against them. A lot of such details, brilliance of Master of Orion. There's an elegance to it, not that I like to. Yep, I agree. Both are my favorite games of all time. But the second one is more advanced. It's like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. if you know what I mean. Second one is more technical, but yeah, first one. Well, like Fallout 1 and 2. First one is still better. First one is superior. Also different win conditions. The first one is insanely brilliant. Absolute masterpieces, what to say. The first and second one. Okay, next. What now? Okay, let's make some turns. Okay, finally. Leader. They have bonuses as well, so. And that's why, like, again, perfect example of what I was telling, why you should explore and gain intelligence of all the star systems. Here he is. We found the leader, who joined us out of gratitude for being rescued. Perfect. Usually you need to pay them in VCs per turn or once, and there is also famous ability for them who lowers. Well, we'll go there later. And empty one. There can be systems which don't have planets at all. And again, what I told you, you should know. Well, Nebula. I will not change anything. If I would play, of course. What we have. Oh, rich but radiated. 25% maintenance penalty. But still, it's not big, it's medium, but it is worth. And there is a wormhole. Let's check the wormhole. You see? So, just as I told you, wormholes, anywhere they go, you need only one turn to reach, no matter how many parsecs. So very important, tactically and strategically. Oh, alright, you can even farm here, and it's nice, very nice. This should be. Also, a lot of people don't understand priority, like especially novices, which to take first. And this is a tough one. This is a really tough one, because there is no like straight rule what to take first, because sometimes you need to take other different system to go closer to the other system, which is even more important, like maybe ultra reach, which you can't reach and so on. There are outposts, but still, you know what I mean. Maybe you want to go wider, but of course it's far more effective and more cheaper to just build colony bases, because colony ship 500 and so colony base 200, so 2 times and half cheaper, while colony ship 500. Of course, if you have ultra reach, even toxic or radiated, don't give a shit, just make colony base. Almost 100%. But again, there are. Well, depends, as I told you. It depends on the situation, what you need. Maybe you want to go somewhere. Maybe you want to deny some system if you know that, for example, there is an enemy like Psylon or someone, right? And there is ultra rich planet, or you even. Like in the previous game, when I was playing on Impossible, there was one system with 5 planets and all of them were rich or ultra rich. This is insane. And I had Nebula and I couldn't reach it. And the enemy took it first. Of course, I got it, but for example, it would be there, right? In this one, for example. Of course, you want to go there as fast as you can, just to build a colony ship. Get it, and there you will like build the automatic factory and start building colony bases. It will be more effective, more cheaper, more faster than if you would build 3, 4, 5 colony ships. You see, very important. You need to calculate, but like use common sense and math, power of mathematics, and power of your brain, cognitive abilities. If you have critical thinking, because otherwise, I think. You wouldn't play even Master of Orion, or shouldn't play it. Just Так, and what we got here? Poor. Oh, no, this is very, very, very bad. So even with biospheres, even with it will be 3, and well, as you can see, maintenance penalty work doesn't worth it at all. What makes it possible and impossible, by the way, just AI sometimes makes very lame decisions in colonizing planets. They well, at the same time they value huge and big planets sometimes, and sometimes they should, but not in the earliest stage. You know, I just tell you, a lot of times they value more population higher than the richness, because in the early stages the richness is more important, but on the mid stage and especially on the late stage it's not, because even poor planet with huge population can be far powerful than tiny one with ultra even richness. You see? Well, ultra richness, but with richness for sure. Well, I already explained it. For example, you will have 3 with rich or ultra rich, or 10 with poor, and with automatic factories, deep mining cores, and so on. Your 10 population will easily surpass the tiny one with richness. And population, another very important. Oh, but that is a tough, especially I should make it on examples and with technology. Well, I think 2 hours already, and to be honest, I'm very tired. Need to rest. And next week probably will be quite busy as well. But I'll try to stream. Well, let's stream a little bit more, and I will go to rest. What else? Maybe you have some questions. Well, basically, I explained fundamentals, the most important ones as I see it, and because again, usually people say bullshit like this, like some some dogmas. I don't like this way at all. You should always play from the situation. The very dynamic game. Everything changes. Everything is different every generation. So you should play from the current situation, from what you see on the galaxy, from the enemies around, who is nearby, who is far away. Your like everything should go into your consideration. Everything. And from that you play. Yep, collective noise. Even damned conformists. Pathetic. No critical thinking. 7 billions of animals who think themselves as humans. What a tragicomedy. Okay, let me show you on this one. However, it will not be very, because I'm already so far ahead even on impossible. Absolutely, very, very far ahead. This is insane. This is insane how far I am. Only 187 turns and already I'm so far ahead. That's the power of technology, Mach boys. And that's why I don't recommend. Well, for hardcore seekers, I don't recommend using creative at all, and even research bonus, because the technology is superior. It's just basis for everything. It's too powerful. It's key to everything. Now I will have auto labs everywhere, and they will never reach my technological level. However, no, they can steal. I don't have spies yet. They can steal. Only one spy. But again, I'm so far ahead, I don't even have a lot of spies yet. Ah, human have 6. War with Bulrati. Interesting. Yeah, Bulrati probably made a lot of transports. And again, you need to know races. You need to know their bonuses, how they play, what they build usually. Of course, with ground bonus, they will build a lot of transports. And that's again why history graph is uber important, but people rarely use it. Well, most of players I know, they rarely use it, but they should. So you see Bulrati and Illyrian, they have that strong, but I can bet that Bulrati have half of transport in this fleet, if not even more. So actually the maybe a couple of battleships, and other than that transports, tons of transport. And yep, battleship. Too far away, I don't see yet. In more powerful scanners. Even Illyrians, you see, even Illyrians have tons of transport, however they have mind control, and still they have transports. The only drawback of mind control, you need at least cruiser, but, well, cruiser, it's nothing. Of course, in the beginning, it's not nothing, but in mid-game, it's absolutely, it's nothing. You need cruiser to mind control any planet. If you don't have cruiser, you can't. But that's, of course, it's not information not for novices, more likely for advanced players, but novices should know that as well. Read the manual. It's written there as well, if I remember correctly. I think it's even written in telepathic fleets with at least one cruiser or larger ship can mind control. Yep, it's written here as well. Spies also plus 10. Yeah, no, telepathic is too powerful. It's 6, but I would make it 7 or 8. As well as creative. And they changed it. Creative costs 8 in version 1.31. In version 1.00 actually they changed food as well to half. And defense was 2040 if I remember correctly, 30 years ago. I still remember that, damn it. Warlord is very powerful. I would make it higher than 4. It's interesting how I actually revalued some of the abilities, and what I thought as quite imba, now I don't find imbalanced at all. Except, of course, creative, it's truly uber powerful. Cybernetic it's good, but it's not imbalanced actually. After all, you eat those minerals. If you wouldn't, but no. But no. Also, technology is an answer to everything. You can research technology and all damage will be repaired. Of course, the bonus is still nice, especially if you can play like with uber powerful high shields. You can go right. It's very. By the way, it's very interesting, but unfortunately, there is counters to that. There are weapons which ignored shields, and that is would destroy your strategy completely. But it's just fun. Just enjoy. Whatever you will make up, it's worth a try. It's very interesting to play, especially if playing against AI. Of course, the player. The hardcore player like me would find the breach and destroy you completely if you would make such thing. But it's just fun to do that. Different ways to play. Like tons of ways, tons of different builds, and not infinite, but very very high quantity of stuff you can do and invent, kinda reinvent. Oh, I love to play super uber population stuff, like subterranean, highest population. So twice world class, plus you can also take tolerant. Like you take minuses, also you can take tolerant. So even more population, and then growth maybe, and minuses. It will be not easy to play like that, but still it's interesting. So I'm just giving you ideas. There is the most obvious, of course, scientific, creative, democracy, pathetic insects, idiots, creative idiots. I call, like, anyone who uses democracy as government is a fucking idiot. Obviously, the worst possible government in reality in games there can be. It's just unneeded proof that there are 7 billions of idiots are living on this planet, which call themselves humans. Well, they're animals, of course, without brain, without critical thinking, with brain but without critical thinking ability. Formal logic cries. However, yep, on the other hand, in formal system you can't define truth even without additional models and systems, which we just discussed not so long ago with Edward, one of the greatest mathematicians of our time, alive. I'm glad he's continuing his series of videos on mathematics and philosophy and even psychiatry and anti-psychiatry. That's nice. I'm Edward Frenkel, I mean Russian mathematic, which now lives in USA and works in USA, in Berkeley, California. And that's how it started. By the way, again, because of me the series started. Because our discussion of Carl Jung, anti-psychiatry, mathematics, all that. That's how he started this series. What a joke this world is. Influence is like from a drop typhoon starts. From a little snowflake, avalanche goes in 5 and 10 years. Who knows where it will go? Yep, absolutely absurd world indeed. Yeah, I would honestly, I would prefer absurd to end, so to just destroy DNA and RNA life, so to just end absurd. Void, no life at all, that would be definitely better. Non-existence is better than existence anytime. anywhere. Okay, guys, I think maybe you have questions. I think I captured all the fundamentals and the most important stuff, actually. Even majority of people probably would disagree because they think they think, I don't think they think, if you know what I mean. Sapienti sat. I wish it was useful. Use this information wisely. Enjoy brilliant game, Master of Orion, and okay, let's just do this. Good day. Thanks. Так, how the Caesar wrote once again. So yeah, many more. Maybe you want to watch something else, some strategies. My favorite genre, RPGs, but yeah, strategies most of all, strategies. So what he? Oh, look forward to more strategy games on the channel. Well, on this channel you already have years and years brilliant games to ponder on and to play and to enjoy, which most likely you didn't play. Like Koi Brilliance of 80s and 90s, stuff like Langrisser, Hybrid Front, which Nebulous team just hacked and translated. Finally, you can play it on English, not on Japanese. Well, again, I'll try to turn microphone more often in the nearest future, but again, in the nearest years there will be construction site and noise and day of the Waco every day, still never-ending neighbors and so on, never-ending, well, you know, all that stuff. Okay. But yeah, next week probably it will be a little bit more freely than this week war. So I'll try to stream more. Well, more. on this week I wasn't even streaming almost at all. Well, we shall see how it goes. And maybe with microphone, maybe without. But again, feel free to write. If there is no incentive, if there is no feedback, of course, I will go back to my normal condition, which is depression, and will just enjoy my favorite game. And that's it. Entropy wins. Okay, good day, good night. Till next possible times.